doing a ninja cockroach move on history.
Hiya! Oh, you didn't see anything.
And now you don't know anything either.
Unless your parents and guardians teach you something.
Who has a video camera? We need you to go down and film every last exhibit that you see. Quickly, the Smithsonian needs you. They trying to take out history like they taking out that satellite.
You mean the one that tracks climate change?
Yep.
This is not an exercise. Quick, everybody, to the museums.
The White House is ordering a wide-ranging review of the Smithsonian museums and exhibitions ahead of the country's 250th birthday to align its content with President Donald Trump's interpretation of American history. In a letter sent to the Smithsonian Institution Secretary, the White House laid out the steps it expects the organization to take. The examination will look at social media, exhibition text, and educational materials to, quote, assess tone, historical framing, and alignment with American ideals. Civil rights leaders have criticized the administration's particular focus on the National Museum of African American History and Culture as efforts to minimize Black Americans' contributions to the country. Holly Brewer, the Burke Professor of American History at the University of Maryland, said she had major concerns over the review.
They seem pretty clear that they want an exceptionalist narrative, to use their word, that avoids any issues that might cast the U.S. history in a bad light. Even though the Smithsonian is impartial, there are many parts of U.S. history that aren't completely comfortable, including questions related to slavery, for example. It really does look like an effort to coerce people into saying things that might not even be true, and certainly to remain silent about things that are important. The instructions seem to be purposely arguing for censoring difficult parts of the American past.
The Smithsonian said it remained committed to, quote, scholarly excellence, rigorous research, and the accurate factual presentation of history.
You are holding on to something that you've already lost.
And just what do you mean by that?
So I just saw the little thing about Trump telling everybody in the different Smithsonians that they have to change their language and the way things are written and take down different displays that don't show a unifying message, that isn't his vision of how history should be.
Oh.
And let's all remember that Trump doesn't have a good memory of what happened yesterday,
Right.
let alone what happened on January 6th, because he said that day didn't even really happen. And also, he doesn't think that there's a problem with what he's doing with stealing money and misusing all that we have and pounding the money that was sent to the Treasury for the care of you and me in this country, that was allocated and voted on and given out by Congress. He doesn't think that any of that applies, because that's fair and balanced and how things are supposed to be according to our Constitution. But you also are being subject to what he thinks should be true and correct as far as history is concerned. So he doesn't know his own history, but he wants to tell you how history should be ran. And the thing is, all you have to do is do exactly the opposite of what he asks. I mean, like, give me an example of where you shouldn't do the opposite of what he asks. And you know, so I don't understand what the hubbubaloo is about all of this. You cannot do what he asks you to do if it goes against the morals and values that this country was founded on. It's plain text in the Constitution, and you have to do one thing. You must fight against this. You must resist, and it shouldn't be that hard for you to find your balls.
Oh.
Hey,
Oh my.
I said it. It should not be this hard for people to find their balls. I am absolutely amazed at people who are amazed at what's going on and how far Donald Trump has taken these things. And it's so many different people out there that think that the left is saying one thing that isn't true. And it's like, well, did you do two things? Did you critically think about things? Did you go and read your own Constitution? And also, if you think that something is being spun, then why didn't you just simply go to the source? Going to the source does not mean asking a person what happens. It means going to congress.gov and looking at the daily activities that your members actually did for you. It's going to congress.gov and pulling out the different legislative things, like all the letters. They say, oh, well, you know, so-and-so, you're testifying and I sent you a letter. Those letters are public. Those letters are not personal. They are part of everything that is given to Congress, talked about Congress, and it's in the record. All you have to do is go straight to the record. There's no spin with record. You cannot spin record. But with Donald Trump saying that he wants to rewrite history, basically, and he wants the Smithsonians to change things as they are, he is attempting to rewrite history. Because people, like I said, do not like to go to the source and just find out what it is. And then after a while, it's just a lot of information. I get that. But here's the thing. How is he able to stand up and fix his face or his fingers or get somebody else to write a letter and say, hey, you need to change this, that, and the other based off of what I feel it should be? How is he able to do that? Okay, so the Smithsonian is not a partisan place. It's 21 different museums, and they are nonpartisan. They don't listen to or follow what one side said over the other. They are strictly about facts. And the only thing the Smithsonian has to do is say no. The problem comes in because the Smithsonian has told that they capitulated once. He said, hey, do something. And they did it. You know, it could have been something as simple as, I don't know, sweeping a corner in the daggone lobby. Okay? But the thing is, when you're dealing with a person like him, they take that as complete capitulation. You listen to them once. Now, what's the problem with listening to them again? And he is pitting you basically up against your own self. And you don't realize that you're in a catch-22 from the beginning until you're in a catch-44. You know, you are definitely caught up with a whole bunch of tomfoolery, and now you have to deal with it head on. And he is expecting you to back down. You don't have to back down. Says who? This country was built on nothing but fighting. So why don't we fight? I don't get it. I don't get it. What's the big problem? Fight. It's not just about you. It's about a whole country. It's about a whole world that comes here and they go to our museums and they see what we have going on here, and they want to know about it. It's their right to know. It's the world's right to know what has happened with American history. And so give it to them. We are a country of immigrants. You know, whether some people of a certain persuasion like to admit that or not, this whole entire country is built on nothing but immigrants. So it shouldn't be that hard to understand why it is important to keep American history completely fluid. Now, also, why is he able to get away with this? Why do they stutter when it comes to saying no? The reason why they stutter is because he is threatening to withhold federal funds. Here's the thing, guys. He can threaten to hold federal funds if he wants to, but that money isn't his. This is the reason why impoundment and the reason why the president executes what Congress has said, because Congress is supposed to have power of the purse. And this is the reason why they have to have that power, and the sitting president can't have that power because of things like this. You don't want him running around thinking that he actually controls things, because the president's role is to actually be the effectuator. He is supposed to enforce. He is supposed to enforce your will. Your will. You're the people. He's supposed to enforce that. He is supposed to be the one who is the figurehead for our country. That's it. He can have his agenda if he wants to, but he don't run nothing. The people run it. And the people give their voices by sending the representatives. But these representatives that are in there right now, they make all of these snarky faces like, shut up, you stupid person. What do you think? We have to listen to you? And they are beside themselves. They do what they want. They do other foreign governments' bidding. You, the people, are last. Somewhere they forgot their role. They forgot how they got there. They are snooty and beside themselves. They are entitled. They think that they are supposed to be there doing what they're supposed to do, what they're doing, and they are not entitled to do those things. They run off of what you, the people, tell them to do. And they must remember that. But how are they supposed to remember that if you don't tell them? And so when Trump threatens to keep the money from them, then he goes ahead and he is usurping the power of Congress. So this is why it's important to vote people in who have your best interests at heart. This is why I and a lot of other people, we are not against Republicans. We are against people who are against the people. And right now, if your member is not working for you, they are working against you. If they are voting on sending billions of dollars overseas while you starve and while you don't have health insurance, while your nursing homes are closing down, while your hospitals are closing down, while you don't have a food bank, while they are incinerating billions and trillions of tons of food that could have went to either poor people abroad or brought back and given to poor people in rural areas or even inner cities, and they didn't do that, it's because they're not working for you. They're working against you, and that is why you have to vote them out. There's no such thing as a real Republican. There's not. Republicans are dead. They're gone. And they are replaced by Trumplicans. And unless you want to be ruled and governed by somebody who only listens to one person who does not have your best interest or you at heart at all, because let's not forget, he's gutting education, he's gutting USAID is gone. So that was our little heart that we had here in America. That's gone. And then he also has gutted just everything. You can't get through your parents, if you're new to Social Security, you can't get through the line. You can't. What can you do? They're laughing at you. They are laughing at you. They think that they have a right to occupy that seat in Congress. And they forget that you are the one that put them there. They forget that you hold the power. You hold the power. And that is why they're trying to gerrymander things. But let me tell you something. They can gerrymander all they want to. It is what the voter actually chooses that wins at the end of the day. So gerrymandering should be a non-starter. It shouldn't be a factor in whether or not they win. You, the people, need to pay attention to what they're doing, and you need to actually hold them accountable. Don't vote for that incumbent, because remember, the incumbent Is the reason why you don't have anything now. Is the reason why you're hungry. Is the reason why your education is going down even further. The reason why your children cannot be the first generation or the second generation of people who have an actual college degree. Okay? That's your representative's fault. Yeah, Trump is the person who executed that. So he's good at executing things against you, but he's not good at executing things for you. And if Congress, if your representatives, which is supposed to be your hand standing up and voting for yourself, does not represent you, you have to vote them out. This is why representation matters. This is also why you have to vote somebody into office who has your best interests at heart overwhelmingly. If these people in Congress would get their act together, they can check Trump. But they can't check Trump if they're scared of him. We, the people, have to get up and say, I want to run for office. I'm going to go for the people, and I want to be by the people, and I'm going to do the people's will. Not some foreign government, not some special interest. I will. So he's holding money back from these institutions, and they have to say no. And you have to say no. And there has to be an uproar about this. Make sure that they understand and they know you cannot rewrite history. We don't want you to make anything over in your image. That is what he is attempting to do, to rewrite history in Donald Trump's image. Do you want that? He's not a founding father. He's not. Okay? You want to be as transparent and true as possible? Or do you want somebody to take away the truth? Because that is what he's attempting to do. So you think about that. And you guys need to vote people in who have your best interests at heart. And right now, there's no Republicans. So you have to vote Democrat. You have to. But there's also a way that we, the people, can actually stop him with our money from trying to do the things that he says that he's going to do in our name, by the way. And I will put that in the next video.
Thank you, everybody. Go ahead and make sure that you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Share this video and make this a table topic. If you have a camera, go to your local museums and record everything so we don't lose them.